Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment and strip away the noise of the world, the busyness, the distractions, the constant pressure to perform. Let's get real right here, right now. Because what we're about to dive into isn't just about relationships. It's about the heartbeat of connection. It's about emotional intimacy, the soul level bond that separates empty relationships from fulfilling ones. And let me tell you this, if you've ever felt alone in a room full of people or unheard in a conversation that never goes deep, then this message is for you. In a time we're more connected digitally than ever before, we're also more emotionally disconnected than ever before. We post, we scroll, we text, but how often do we truly connect? How often do we let someone see us fully? No filters, no masks, no highlight reels, just the raw, real, honest version of ourselves. That's what emotional intimacy is about. And if you want a relationship that stands the test of time, that weathers storms and still feels like home, then you can't ignore it. So many people are searching for love, but here's the truth. Love without emotional intimacy is shallow. It doesn't fulfill, it fades. Emotional intimacy is what gives love its roots. It's what allows two people to grow, not just together, but individually. It's what helps us feel safe, seen, and valued. And most importantly, it's what makes love last. You can have chemistry, you can have passion, you can have a beautiful wedding and a great Instagram feed, but without emotional intimacy, none of it will satisfy your soul. Because deep down, every human heart is searching for connection, real connection, the kind where you can say, I'm not okay, and not be judged. The kind where silence is comfortable, the kind where being vulnerable doesn't feel scary, it feels sacred. Ladies and gentlemen, emotional intimacy is not a luxury. It's not just something for couples in therapy or people who read relationship books. It's the foundation, it's the glue, it's the magic. And the truth is, it doesn't just happen. You don't stumble into it. You build it. With trust, with presence, with consistency, and with a whole lot of courage. This is for anyone who wants more than just a partner. They want a teammate, a best friend, a soul connection. This is for the ones who are tired of surface level love and are ready to go deeper. This is for those who understand that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, a daily decision to show up emotionally, not just physically. So, whether you're in a relationship, married, dating, or healing from heartbreak, this message will meet you where you are. Because emotional intimacy isn't just about love. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and connecting with another human in a way that truly transforms you. Let's begin. The foundation of emotional intimacy, building trust and vulnerability. Emotional intimacy doesn't come with a title or a timeline. It doesn't magically appear just because two people are in a relationship, married or living together. Emotional intimacy is built intentionally, consistently, and patiently. It is the foundation that transforms a surface level connection into something deep, meaningful, and unbreakable. So many couples today are physically close, but emotionally distant. You might eat at the same table, sleep in the same bed, and share a home, but if you're not emotionally connected, you're just coexisting. Real intimacy is about more than sharing space. It's about sharing your soul. The first and most critical step to emotional intimacy is trust. Without trust, intimacy cannot grow. Your partner needs to know that when they reveal their fears, struggles, or insecurities, they will be met with love, not judgment. And you need to know the same. It's a two-way street. Trust is built when both people feel emotionally safe to be fully themselves. And with trust comes vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. In fact, it's the ultimate form of strength. It's saying, here I am, not the perfect version of me, not the highlight reel, just me, with all my flaws, fears, and dreams. And when you're met with empathy and acceptance, it creates a bond that goes beyond surface level affection. But let's be honest, it takes courage to be vulnerable. Many of us were taught to hide our emotions, to stay strong, to keep it together. But emotional intimacy demands the opposite. It asks us to open up, to speak our truth, to cry if we need to, and to truly feel without fear of being shamed or dismissed. You don't build emotional intimacy through grand gestures. It's created in the small, everyday moments when you ask your partner how they're really doing and listen, not to reply, but to understand. When you hold space for their emotions, when you notice they're not okay and take the time to check in. That's intimacy. That's love in its rawest form. And remember, emotional intimacy doesn't mean you agree on everything. It means you care enough to stay connected even when you disagree. It means being willing to see your partner's world through their eyes, not just your own. Ask yourself, am I creating a safe space for my partner to be emotionally honest? Am I showing up with presence, patience, and empathy? Because real connection begins when two people stop performing for each other and start being real with each other. If you want lasting love, don't just chase chemistry. Build emotional intimacy, brick by brick, heart to heart. The power of presence, creating space for deep connection. Building emotional intimacy isn't just about words, it's about presence. In a world full of distractions, your undivided attention is one of the most powerful gifts you can give your partner. When you're fully present, you say, you matter to me, I see you, I hear you, I'm here with you. Far too often, couples fall into a routine of being together physically but absent emotionally. They scroll through phones while having dinner, they nod through conversations without truly listening, and over time, that emotional disconnection builds walls. Walls that block love, understanding, and closeness. If you want to build emotional intimacy, you have to be intentional about being present. That means putting down your phone, turning off the noise, and tuning into your partner, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, your heart, and your full attention. Look them in the eye, feel their energy, listen not just to their words, but to what their heart is trying to say. It's in those quiet moments, those simple interactions, that deep connection is born. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen emotional intimacy is by having real conversations, not just about schedules, chores, or bills, but about life, fears, desires, and purpose. Ask each other meaningful questions. What keeps you up at night? What excites you about the future? What are your dreams that you haven't said out loud? You will be surprised at how much there is still to learn about each other, no matter how long you've been together. And don't just talk. Share, open up, let your partner into the parts of you that you usually keep hidden, your doubts, your struggles, your past. That's how you build emotional intimacy, by going beyond the surface and letting each other in. Also, learn to validate each other's emotions. You don't always need to fix your partner's problems. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say, I understand, or that must be hard, or I'm here for you. Emotional intimacy grows when people feel emotionally supported and emotionally safe. And remember, emotional intimacy isn't always about talking. Sometimes it's just sitting together in silence, holding hands, or sharing a look that says, I get you. It's about building a connection so strong that words aren't always needed. You have to make time for each other, not just out of habit, but out of love. Create rituals of connection. Maybe it's a walk after dinner. Maybe it's coffee in the morning with no distractions. These simple habits keep emotional intimacy alive. Because emotional intimacy isn't a one-time achievement. It's a daily choice, a commitment. A mindset that says, I want to know you, truly know you, every single day. Nurturing emotional intimacy, consistency, patience, and growing together. Emotional intimacy isn't something you achieve once and then forget about. It's something you nurture daily, intentionally, and with love. Think of it like a garden. If you neglect it, it withers, but if you water it, tend to it, and protect it, it grows into something beautiful, something lasting. Too many relationships start strong but fade over time, not because love disappears, but because people stop doing the things that build emotional intimacy in the first place. The deep conversations, the small acts of kindness, the intentional time spent together, all of that begins to fade when life gets busy, stressful, or routine. But here's the truth. Emotional intimacy requires consistency. You can't be emotionally present once a week and expect a lifetime connection. You have to show up, especially when it's hard, especially when your partner is struggling, especially when misunderstandings happen. That's when intimacy is tested, and that's when it matters most. You build emotional intimacy when you choose to lean in instead of pull away. Conflict will happen, disagreements are natural, but emotional intimacy is built when both people say, let's figure this out together. It's not about being perfect, it's about being willing to listen, to grow, to apologize, to forgive, and to try again. Be patient with each other. You are both growing, evolving, learning how to love better. Emotional intimacy doesn't mean you always say the right thing or feel perfectly connected every day, but it does mean you care enough to keep trying, to keep reaching for each other, to keep choosing each other, even when it's not easy. Celebrate the small moments. Emotional intimacy grows in the quiet acts of love. The way you hold your partner when they're overwhelmed, the way you encourage their dreams, the way you check in after a long day. These small actions speak volumes. They say, I see you, I value you, I'm here. And never stop learning about each other. Just because you've been together for years doesn't mean you know everything about your partner. People change, seasons shift, new layers are always waiting to be discovered. Stay curious, stay interested, ask questions, share stories, grow together. One of the greatest gifts you can give in a relationship is emotional availability. When you're emotionally available, you're not just existing in the relationship, you're emotionally investing in it. You're saying, I want to know you, not just today, but every day. I want to understand your heart. And that's what emotional intimacy really is, a deep emotional partnership, a safe place, a bond that can weather storms, a connection that fuels not just your relationship, but your individual growth, your healing, your peace. So don't settle for shallow love. Don't just aim for good times. Build a connection that's real, lasting, and soulful. Because when emotional intimacy is present, love becomes unshakable. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one truth to carry from everything we've explored, let it be this. Emotional intimacy is the soul of a meaningful relationship. It's not the flowers on Valentine's Day, it's not the perfect couple photos or the fancy date nights. Those things are nice, but they are fleeting. Emotional intimacy is what remains when everything else fades. It's the quiet strength that holds two people together through storms, seasons, and struggles. We live in a world that idolizes instant gratification, quick likes, fast love, easy fixes. But emotional intimacy doesn't operate on speed. It grows in stillness, in slowness, in showing up again and again. It asks for consistency, not perfection. It demands presence, not performance. True connection isn't built by saying I love you every day. It's built by meaning it, showing it, living it to the way you make your partner feel emotionally safe. It's built when your partner knows they can break down in your arms without fear. It's built when they trust that their heart is safe in your hands. And if you're still waiting for that kind of love, don't be discouraged. This isn't just about having it with someone else. It starts with you. You have to create emotional intimacy within yourself first. That means knowing your heart, owning your truth, and being brave enough to show up authentically. Because when you're real with yourself, you're ready to be real with someone else. To those in a relationship, don't take emotional connection for granted. Nurture it, protect it, make space for it. And to those who are healing or waiting, don't chase chemistry at the cost of emotional safety. Choose a connection where your soul can breathe. Remember this, emotional intimacy is not found, it's built. It's built in conversations that dig deeper than, how was your day? It's built in the vulnerability of saying, I'm scared, but I trust you with this. It's built in the courage to hold space when your partner feels broken. It's built in choosing to stay emotionally available even when life gets messy. A relationship rooted in emotional intimacy is rare, but it is real. And when you have it, you don't just feel loved, you feel understood. You don't just feel supported, you feel seen. That kind of connection changes everything. It transforms ordinary love into extraordinary partnership. So don't settle. Don't give your heart to someone who only wants your body. Don't waste time on relationships that dance around vulnerability. Go deeper. Build something sacred. Build something that lasts. And if you're still building, keep going. One honest conversation, one brave moment, one safe embrace at a time. Because when emotional intimacy is present, love doesn't just survive, it thrives. It doesn't just last, it transforms. And that kind of love, that's the real love story. Thank you for listening. Now go build something beautiful, heart to heart.